Well, listeners, we have been playing the singles from Nothing More's brand new album, Carnal, on our show now for a little while. And of course, the album is out on June 28th. So we thought today we would actually get one of the members of the band on the phone to chat a little bit about this amazing brand new album. So welcome to the program, Mark.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. We're really stoked to be a part of this. And Nothing More, we're big Australia fans, so thank you.
Awesome, mate. So tell us a little bit about that love affair with Australia. Where does that come from?
Comes from your prog rock down under, that's for sure. Oh, Carnival, Dead Letter Circus, Cog, and you name it. There's definitely something in the water over there. It's like, why are these guys so badass? Why is everybody so good looking over there, too?
So talking of badass, this brand new album is just absolutely amazing. How do you feel with the album about to come out now in just a couple of weeks?
You're too kind. Thanks for that. I couldn't be more excited. You know, we really feel like this record is, I don't know, it's a coming of age, and it's going to be a special one and a big one for us. And only a week away. The singles have gone extremely well in regards to response, and hitting top of the charts over here in America and worldwide, which is awesome. And we can't wait to see the next ones crush. We're just getting started.
You mentioned that this is a little bit of a coming of age record for you guys. Tell us a little bit about that. Why do you feel that this one is a coming of age record?
Absolutely, yeah. So we haven't worked with a producer since 2007, maybe. So it's been quite a while that we've been self-producing everything. And for this album, we all, through COVID, we all kind of moved away from each other. And for the Spirits record, we file shared like that entire album, self-producing it. And it was an arduous, sort of frustrating process. I still think that record's great, but we missed the magic of being in the same room. So, as soon as we all got back together and started touring again, playing shows, it really, I don't know, it brought us together after that absence. And we really rediscovered each other in a way that's like, oh man, we're good at this. We love writing music together, feeling this synergy. And especially now, it's like, we're working with a producer. We went with Drew Folk, Wizard Blood, for this record, and he's a great mediator when it comes to stalemates and songwriting in regards to like, no, this riff should be in the song, or no, it sucks, or whatever it is. You get into these fights of like, no, it should be this lyric, should be that lyric. He's great for finding the the middle ground on that, and in regards to his lightning fast production speed. With really kind of like getting to where we want, where we're describing, where these tones need to go. But we've also, been doing this for 20 years, so we know what our strengths are and what our band is, so it definitely doesn't take us a long time, to kind of get to where we need to go.
Yep. You're probably the perfect guy to ask this question to. There's something that's been happening in the Australian music industry now for a little while, where a lot of bands and a lot of artists have been thinking, to save money on this album, I won't hire a producer, I'll self-produce. As a band that has self-produced and a band that has worked with a producer, what do you see the big differences being when you're working with a producer than to when you're self-producing?
Yeah, I'd absolutely say, if you want a fast product, you go with a producer. If you want things to take a little longer, you want to have control, and really spend time going down every single rabbit hole, chasing, this sort of sonic sound base that's in your head. Go the self-production route. Not that you can't, get there quickly once you've been doing the self-produced thing for a while, and we are pretty quick because we have been doing this for a long time. But it's fun and awesome to honestly just get out of our own way now. We can take a long time with records, and Spirits was probably we took the longest, 5 years from between Stories We Tell Ourselves and it, and that was just too long. So like this album was done in a year and a half, and I think a lot of the excitement was just from, once again, rediscovering each other, and writing music with each other, and kind of like finding that fresh, pace again, to that fresh newfound love again to do it. So I wouldn't necessarily say do one or the other. I would say do both. Go on your own journey, and you'll find the pros and cons of both. You need to taste the sour to realize that the sweet is so much sweeter since you've been there.
Definitely. So you mentioned before about the strong bond that came back with the band after COVID. Tell us a little bit about the early days of this album. What kind of things were you guys talking about that you wanted to achieve with this album, or what you wanted to do with this album?
Sure. I don't know if there was really like a huge goal mindset in it, other than to just get back to doing it together and try this producer thing out. I think that was exciting. Now that we have a track record, we have this many albums, we have, this accolade, that accolade, whatever. It's like we can kind of come into the situation on the same level with a producer. And I think that, maybe that rubbed us the wrong way early on in the past. So I know I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but your original question just being, what were our goals for this? Sadly, just to write a good album, to not kind of, maybe not go too far down that rabbit hole. I felt like we did that with Spirits, and the other guys would agree with me. And that record it's great. It's a little more progressive and true to those roots that we have. And this album it's a little more straight to the point. It's just banger central. We just get you there. And I'm really stoked about that. You can, both those types of music can be, you can have great albums that are just straight to the point, and then other ones, Dark Side of the Moon. It's like, okay, we're just going to go into arpeggio land and make weird noises for 7 minutes, and it's still going to be one of the most highest selling albums of all time.
Yep.
Crazy.
You talked about there being bangers on this album. This is one of those albums where just about any song could have been a single. Was that something that you guys were aware of when you were recording it?
I appreciate you saying that. That's really nice. But we just wanted to write good songs. A motto, a mantra, and nothing more is definitely, all killer, no filler. We don't believe in mailing a track in, doing something half-assed. So we'll go back to the drawing board. If it's like this chorus just isn't happening, let's try to redo it. Let's put the song to bed for now, and then we'll revisit it once we've kind of come back to it with fresh ears.
Awesome.
And that's really important for us, just to keep asking ourselves, is this badass? And if it's not badass, then it's not ready yet.
Yep.
And that goes for the guitars, the song arrangement, the lyrics, the vocal melody, everything.
Yep. So talking of the lyrics, talk us through some of the themes that our listeners are going to be able to hear on this album. Of course, we've already been able to hear the singles, but what kind of themes can we expect to explore on this album?
Absolutely. So let's see. One of the next tracks after, like in the track listing on the album, is the song Existential Dread. It's definitely a big, heady, analysis paralysis jam. There's a couple banger riffs on it, but lyrically it kind of goes into this space of being paralyzed by fear, and being so afraid of the oncoming onset of death. And sometimes when you're there, or any of these things that just paralyze you, you can't break away from it. So it really just kind of, it fits the mood of the music a lot. And it goes into just the light side of things in regards to making the most of every single day, because tomorrow isn't promised. There's that. Another huge song and big theme of the record. I think my favorite song on the album is "Down the River," and it's probably the simplest singer-songwriter song we've ever done, but it's totally juxtaposed with the headiest theme maybe we've ever had in regards to it. It goes into this Alan Watts lecture about life being the river, which is one of our favorite lectures, mine personally for sure. But he just kind of talks about, if you swim against it, you're not going to go anywhere. You'll just end up in the exact same spot. So it's the goal of it is to let go, trust yourself to the water, and let life take you where it needs to, down the river, And if you're smart enough, it's like, oh, you'll build a sail and you can get past this obstacle and get through these rapids. And then, I don't know, you just trust yourself to the river. And sometimes that's, or a lot of the times, when you have this light bulb in life, your life blossoms.
Yeah.
It's such a cool song, and it's almost Jolene like Dolly Parton with some of the melody of it. And I love that. And that's one of our favorite songs for sure too.
It's one of the standouts. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Appreciate that. And maybe one last one. "Run for Your Life" is closing the album, and we all thought it would be really kick-ass to have that lyric, scream from the top of your lungs, and then go into a monstrous, like, sort of scary riff. And I really think we accomplished that. And we just kind of did this really sort of spooky song that's kind of maybe like Soundgarden mixed with Einstein Kills or something.
Yeah.
Which is cool and a lot of fun for us. I'm pumped on that one. Yeah, the song is just kind of about that lyric, basically describing a story of that.
Yeah.
And it was to have that theme be there.
You've got some amazing guests on this album as well, with Eric from I Prevail, David Drainman as well. Tell us a little bit about those guests. Were they people that you had always wanted to work with?
Absolutely. We did a tour with Disturbed back in 2016, and even before that, the band, I believe it's called Fight or Flight. Dan, guitar player Disturbed, Dan Donegan, played guitar in that band, and we had done some shows with them. He's always been a big supporter of our band. He came out to this Chicago show in 2014 by himself, pulled me aside at the merch table, gave me this wad of cash, and said, "Hey, y'all go get some sushi tonight." And it's like, man, what a dude. He's just got a heart for the music scene and helping bands out. And David, from Disturbed, has been a great supporter as well. Definitely, has very, very kind things to say online and interviews, advocating that support. So when we reached out to him, kind of showing him the demos, it's this song definitely, Angel Song, stuck out. And it's like, man, David would be awesome on this song. He was absolutely into that idea and, delivered a monstrous performance. Now, if I go into I Prevail, it's something similar too. Last summer, we did some European festivals. They were on some of those. We got to know the guys, became friends. I sent Eric the whole record of demos that we had, and he was like, "Dude, House on Sand. If we could do a feature, I would love to do this. Can I do this one?" It's like, of course, hell yeah, go where your heart leads, man. So he crushed that bridge. It's awesome to kind of hear a big, dirty, monster scream with some Nothing More riffage going on. Not that Johnny can't go there. It's just, it's just fun and different when you get to hear different characters and different voices over, music you've done forever. I know what Johnny sounds like over our music, and it's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's neat to hear your music with a different voice on it from time to time,
Definitely. So, Mark, I know we are running out of time very, very quickly, but I have two quick questions before we go. First of all, you mentioned you guys love Australia. Is there any chance that we might see an Australian tour sometime in the future?
I unfortunately don't have an answer for that. Yes, we want to. We would love to get over there so bad. We were scheduled to go over at the end of 2023. Unfortunately, that just it didn't work out, and we're trying to make it happen again. You know, we'd love to stay and do some headlines. You know, and I know it's different touring over there, just with flying everywhere, and you know, you're a huge country.
Yeah.
To fly into every single city, which is awesome, which is fun. The only other time we got to go over there was in 2015 for Soundwave, and we had such a great time.
Yep. So to finish off, what would you like to say to your fans out there before they sit down and take a listen to Carnal on June 28th?
Nice. I guess thanks for being fans thus far, and prepared to be blown away. I'm stoked about it. That sounds sort of conceited, but I really am proud of this record, and tell every Australian promoter and show person ever that they need nothing more over there, because we want to be there.